hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I put together 20 of my best coastal Christmas Dollar Tree DIYs for you. The first one, we're going to be making a coral wreath for Christmas, and I absolutely love how this turned out. For the wreath form, I'm actually using one of the Dollar Tree 3D wreath forms. You could use the ones that come in like the 3-pack, like the brass ones. That would work too. This is a little bit better of value because you get 4 of them for $1.25, but you do have to remove like either the little tab on there or the one with the extra little piece that goes inside to keep that all together. I think this one looks great. I think it's going to be strong enough wire. I need it to be really skinny like this because we're going to be using those little coral looking Christmas trees there to cover it, and I don't want you to be able to see the wreath form. So I want something that I can kind of hide behind it. The tabs are easy enough to remove with a pair of pliers, and these are the ornaments. I posted about these about a month ago to stock up on these, and this is one reason why. I've made so many beautiful like beachy DIYs with these because they make great coral, and I actually craft with them year round, so I always try to stock up every year. I used a total of, I think, 7 packages, so 14 of them for this. You could get away with 5 packages, but I did use more of them to decorate the wreath in the end. And that's kind of a preview of what it would look like if you wanted to leave them just the white glittery plastic that they are. I think that would be really pretty too. I'm actually going to be painting mine though. They do have a tree trunk on them, and that is the only thing that kind of takes away from the shape of the coral. And so I'm just going to go ahead and remove that. They are made out of plastic. I was trying some heavy duty scissors to kind of cut those off, but you know what? It's actually a little bit easier just to bend them back with your fingers, and they will pop off. So I'm just going to do that on all of those to give them that coral feel. They do still have like the hole like on the top of the tree there that you could use to make it an ornament that we can use to help attach it to the wreath form. So I just went ahead and popped all of those off. Now I thought it would be easier to go ahead and paint them before I go ahead and put the wreath together. So I'm going to leave some of them white, the ones that I'm going to use to decorate it, but I'm going to paint 10 of them light blue. Now, I'm mixing a couple different colors together. I think Caribbean blue and ivory. This is going to give me a really soft beachy blue. It's very similar to the Cloudless color by Apple Barrel from Walmart that I use a lot. Just a very soft beachy blue. And you know what? You could paint these any color that you wanted to match your decor. It's going to be so pretty because, you know, you don't have to have a beach house to do these like coastal DIYs that I like to do on my channel because anybody can have a beach house. It doesn't matter. You can always bring the beach to you, but this is definitely going to give you that coral feel. But I'm going to use like some icy colors like the light blue and the white and stuff like that. So it's going to look really pretty for winter decor too. So I was a little worried that even though I have the super skinny wreath form like that you might be able to see the dark wreath form behind it. And so I do end up painting that. I am starting to attach it though with a little tiny zip tie. These are from the hardware section at Dollar Tree, and they're some of the smallest ones that I've seen. And I think they'll work well because the hole in the ornament's not very big. And then I go back and paint it that blue color that I mixed up for the coral just because I want it to all blend in. I want it to be seamless. I don't want you to be able to see the wreath form back there. And it was pretty dark color, like a black shade. So just take care of that real quick before I attach any more. And then I'm just going to trim off my zip tie as I go. I want them to be overlapped slightly, so the coral there will cover up the base where I have it zip tied to the one below. And then I use a little hot glue to attach them together at that end. Otherwise, the coral would be just kind of like hanging off. I want it to keep that round shape and stay in place. So hot gluing them together is just as important probably as zip tying them to the wreath form. And I go all the way. I have about half of it done. And I was trying to decide if I should like switch directions, have it kind of come up both sides, or if I should just stay with this pattern. I really liked how the pattern was coming along though. So I just kept the same direction and worked all the way around here with my painted coral ornaments. Aren't they so pretty? I love these. I might check my inventory and see if I have enough to do another giveaway. I know I gave away lots of these last year for those of you that were having trouble finding enough to make some of these great projects. And then I left some of them white to decorate. See how that looks really pretty together, the blue and the white. I think it looks so icy, wintry. And so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to kind of have them go up the sides like that. I do want to cut off the little end with the hole in it just so you can't see that on the coral. And I just pop that off with scissors. To attach these, I'm using hot glue. You might want to use something a little stronger to wire that down, depending on where you're going to put it. I'm doing this as an indoor wreath, Florida heat, hot glue. I didn't know how well it would stay together, but you know what? I've actually used this a couple of times, and it's just so pretty. I really love it. If you wanted to cover the rest of the coral with glitter too, that would look really pretty because these white ones do have glitter on them. For the very base of the wreath, I'm going to use a Dollar Tree sand dollar. And they also have like the starfish. These are both from the Shore Living line that they have like every like spring and summer at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use 2 of the starfish and 1 of the sand dollar. If you don't have any of these left over from Dollar Tree, you can always get these pretty similar to these on Amazon. I have gotten a lot of those. I have some of them linked in my Amazon shop below too. And I'm going to paint them. So the sand dollar could be a little wider, so I go over that with like an ivory, and I mixed up that same beachy blue color for the starfish. They paint really well. They're made out of a plastic composite material, so they're really easy to craft with. They don't break or anything like that. And I'm going to have the starfish kind of go off to the sides and kind of be nestled down in the white coral. The reason I painted those blue is because I'm putting them against that white coral. I thought the contrast there would be really nice. And I just kind of wedge those in there. And again, I use hot glue to attach those down to the coral ornament. Isn't this looking so pretty? I love this coral reef. A lot of you guys called it a coral reef, like R-E-E-F instead of like a regular reef. And you can make a hanger for it if you want, just tying some twine to the top, or you can just use the like a wreath hanger to hang that up. But look how beautiful this turned out. It really looks like coral to me, and it's so coastal and fun for Christmas. And the great thing is you can leave this up all winter long. It's not specifically just for Christmas. Hey guys, are you enjoying today's video? If you are, be sure to hit that like button. It always helps my videos do a little bit better here on YouTube. Now for the next DIY, I went to the beach and found a piece of driftwood. Isn't this a great piece of driftwood? I was looking for something kind of long and skinny. You could always use a stick from your yard if you don't have any driftwood available. This is pretty forgiving project. What we're going to do is we're going to make 3 little coastal reindeer out of these. I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 pieces down here. These are going to be like the head of the reindeer. And then I'm going to need some longer pieces for the body. So I cut that 1 piece down into 6 pieces. Now for the legs of the reindeer, we're using the Dollar Tree wood dowels. And for the antlers, we're using those little antler ornaments that you see there that they have from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to need 4 dowels for each one of my reindeer. I'm doing a total of 3. And they are a little bit longer than I need, so I am going to have to shorten these. You can cut these with miter scissors if you don't have a saw, but since I needed them all to be about the same length, I just went to my power saw and cut them all the same length. About that long. I don't think I actually measured them, but I thought that the legs would be too long if I left them as is. Now it's time to put our little reindeer together. I've seen people make these out of like wood sticks before, but I'd never seen anybody make them out of driftwood. So I wanted to do like my own like coastal version of this. Now I'm going to try to get like a driftwood feel going on these little wooden dowels from the Dollar Tree. I just mixed some antique wax by Waverly with some ivory together. It's giving me that great driftwood color. And I'm just going over all of them. I want to stain the wood, so I just kind of wipe off the excess with a paper towel. And then I realized, you know what? I probably need to cut some more dowels down because I need 3 necks to be able to attach the head to the body. So I just cut 3 more pieces down. And then I go ahead and paint and stain them as well. Now to give them like that wood grain that the driftwood has, I'm going to distress them with just the antique wax by Waverly and like kind of a dry brush. It's going to give like a faux wood grain on them, and it's just going to make it blend in with the driftwood a lot more and not look like that yellowish raw wood that it was before. Now it's time to put this together. We're going to have to break out the power tools. I chose like the largest drill bit I had for my drill, and it is about the perfect size for these dowels. It's a little bigger than they are. And I'm going to drill 2 holes there to attach the legs. I thought I might need to go a little bit deeper. And I'm going to be able to attach the legs in there. By drilling the holes, it's going to make it a lot more secure and make it stay together a lot better. So I flip it over and do 2 holes on this side as well. I'm going to put some hot glue down in each one of the holes and attach the wooden legs, kind of going off to the sides like that. I want them to look like kind of like tall, spindly reindeer. Really cute. And I go ahead and attach all 4 legs that way. Let my hot glue set up a little bit there, but also make sure that he can kind of stand level, that I have it arranged properly. That looks pretty good. It's always kind of important to test that part. This piece of driftwood was kind of a little bit more challenging because of the shape of it, but we're going to make it work. Again, I'm going to go ahead and drill 4 holes in this and attach our 4 little wood dowel legs to this one. I love how these turned out. I think they are so cute, and they just have little touches of being coastal, being made out of driftwood, and some coastal features that we add to these. So again, I just attach all 4 legs, adding some hot glue to make sure they stay attached. And I'm going to do that on the 3rd reindeer as well. Now, you could only make 1 if you wanted to, but I think they look so cute together as a set. I guess you can make a whole bunch of them, make all of Santa's reindeer with them. I think 3 is enough for where I'm going to put mine in my house. Now, these are the 3 pieces I made smaller for the head. So I'm going to need a hole for the neck of a reindeer. So I go ahead and drill that close to the edge on all of those. I'm not going super deep, but enough to be able to make good contact there. And sometimes this driftwood from the beach is a little soft, so you have to kind of be careful with it. I don't want it falling apart. But I go ahead and glue the necks onto each one of our little reindeer heads like this. And I probably should have drilled a hole for the neck in the driftwood part before I attach the legs. That might be a little bit easier, so keep that in mind. I'm going to do it right now with the legs still attached. And right about there. So about the same place where the front legs attach. On the other side, you're going to need 1 hole for the neck of your reindeer. This one wanted to fight me a little bit, but I was able to get it. We have 3 little driftwood reindeer bodies, 3 heads and necks. And then I also want to attach the antlers. These little ornaments from the Dollar Tree are the perfect size. They are like a white glittery material, and I think they're going to make perfect antlers for a little driftwood reindeer. So I'm going to attach those to the driftwood here for the head. So I will need some more holes, maybe not quite as big. Right here, 2 of them on the head. And I'm going to go ahead and drill those before I attach the head. It's going to make it a little bit easier. That way I can kind of glue it. The little stems on the antlers work perfectly. Just add a little dot of hot glue, and you can kind of have them go out to the sides or stand straight up if you want. I didn't think that my hole was quite deep enough on that one, so I trimmed it up, and that seemed to work a little bit better. And I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side, hot gluing this one in place. You're going to want to try to watch the direction that they're going so they kind of make sense from the front. And I kind of like them going out like that a little bit. I think that gives more of a reindeer feel with big antlers going out to the side like that. So I go ahead and drill a hole in each one of these, and I also trim the stem on them so they will fit all the way down in there. I just found it to be a little bit more secure, and I just hot glue those on just like I did with the first one. So now we have the head. We can go ahead and put our little reindeers together. Almost the last step. I put a little hot glue down in the hole I drilled for the dowel and just sit that down inside. The great thing about these is that the driftwood's all different. So all of the reindeer are a little bit different. They all have their own like personality. You could actually have like their heads turning in different directions and stuff like that. You could get really creative with these. Like that one has like the split on the top. That looks really cute. Definitely very rustic. And I do the same thing there for the other two. Now that we have them on there, I don't want to add a lot of details, but I did want to add a little bit of a detail. At least to one. I want one of the little driftwood reindeer to be Rudolph. So I was trying to think of something coastal that I could do to give him a little red nose. But again, I wanted it to be like a little coastal touch. And what I decided to do was to give him a little starfish nose. I get these really inexpensive tiny starfish on Amazon. I do have them linked in my Amazon shop, and I thought that would make a perfect little reindeer nose for him. I just went ahead and painted one bright red with a paint pen and attached it right there on his little snout of the reindeer. He's so cute. And I'm going to display them all 3 together just like that. Aren't they so sweet? So here's another 3 coastal DIYs. The dowels and the antlers are both from Dollar Tree. The driftwood was actually free from the beach. And they definitely have great personalities. I think they're so cute. The next DIY, I'm going to DIY a coastal Christmas tree sign using 2 of these long board signs from the Dollar Tree. These are just the raw wood ones that you get at the Crafter's Square. And I'm going to combine 2 together to make a larger sign. I love the fact that they're just raw wood like this. I can paint them. No prep work really involved. I just need to figure out a way to attach them together to make like a longer sign like that, or a wider sign, I guess. I'm going to do that with just some Dollar Tree popsicle sticks. Make some little brackets here for the back. So I use hot glue and glue the popsicle sticks on the back. And that will combine it together. Probably the best way to do this, since it is thin wood and it's not quite thick enough to kind of glue it side by side. So I just make brackets all the way down. I want to make sure that there's no bowing and everything stays connected. So I did more rather than less of the popsicle sticks. And now we have a cute little palette wood sign that we can make a coastal Christmas tree on. To paint it, I'm going to do like my favorite like beachy blue combination. I'm using a little ivory mixed together with Caribbean blue. I'm trying to remember the name of that color. And it gives you this soft blue color, which is pretty similar to Cloudless by Apple Barrel. You can just get that. I I have that, I think, linked in my Amazon shop. You can get it like for 50 cents or so on Amazon Prime, or you can also pick that paint up from Walmart. I just wipe off the excess paint there with a paper towel so that you can kind of see a little bit of the wood grain come through. I think that's going to make it look very coastal and fun. And kind of cleaning up the paint that kind of dripped down there in the holes. We have a perfect background for our coastal Christmas tree, and what we're going to use to make that is just seashells. These are actually seashells that I got at Dollar Tree, the like scallop type shells. I chose like all the same kind of shell because I think that would make it look a little bit better. But I don't really care about that they're different colors. I think that looks pretty cool. And I'm going to do like a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like working my way down. I also want to add like a metal word to this. Dollar Tree does have like some Christmas words and these like galvanized metal words. This one says peace. I think that one looks pretty good. I think that's going to work well for this. It's a perfect width for the sign. And then we can make the tree out of the seashells. So I went ahead and put it there at the bottom so I would kind of know how much room I have to work with. And to glue the seashells, I just do like a little bit of hot glue along the base and then the outside of the shell. I also want to make sure that I kind of do it straight across. So trying to use just like a board there for reference to give me a straight line. We're going to attach all those. You don't have to do the glue like all the way around it. Just enough to attach it on the top and the bottom because you're not going to want too much hot glue like kind of seeping out. And I just do that all the way up with the seashells, forming the shape of a Christmas tree. I love it. I think it looks so beachy and fun. Now for the tree topper, of course, a starfish is perfect for a coastal Christmas tree. This is one of the Dollar Tree starfish. I'm just going to leave it white and attach some hot glue to the different rays that are actually going to be touching the sign. Glue that to the top. We can add the metal piece word here to the bottom. And a little piece of driftwood would make a perfect little Christmas tree trunk. This is some of the Target driftwood. And I think that's going to be perfect. So I just attached that with a little bit of hot glue. I love their driftwood because it's super flat. I've been having a little trouble finding it at Target lately. I hope that they start stocking it at my store again. And then a little bit of hot glue on my peace sign and attaching it to the bottom. That just adds another little coastal touch, I think, because it's made out of metal and just kind of makes the sign extra special. Now, I do want this to be a hanging sign, and so I'm just going to take some twine, some Dollar Tree twine. This is like the brown and white one. Kind of feed it in from the back, knot it in the front, and just make a simple little hanger for the sign. And I absolutely love how this turned out. It was so easy to do. Just 2 signs from the Dollar Tree and a couple little accent pieces there too, the starfish and the little metal sign. And the seashells were even from Dollar Tree. Really pretty. Let me show you what it looks like hanging up. Little seashell Christmas tree. Sometimes the simplest things like that, like the abstract DIYs like that, are some of my favorites. And I love the fact that the shells are kind of like, they're not shiny or perfect. They're kind of raw, and I really kind of like the way that it looks. Now for the next DIY, I'm using one of these little Dollar Tree, what are they, like shadow box houses that they have? They have these in all different sizes, shapes and sizes. Really any of them would work. And I'm going to make it into a coastal nativity scene. And I love this. It turned out so cute. I do need to find a way to detach the back of it from the house frame. As you can see, sometimes they're put together pretty well. I was trying to find just kind of a weak point and break that off. I don't care really that the paper ripped and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that I remove it all so that you can't see any on the final project. I am going to have a back in there, but I didn't want like that crazy tie-dye pattern that they had going on that. And so I'm actually going to just DIY the back of this one. I don't want that to have all that ripped paper on the back though, so I just take some Dollar Tree contact paper. Doesn't really matter which one. This one kind of looks like wood. And I make a piece larger than the size using a sanding block to give me a perfect cut. It's just going to make the back of the nativity set look so much better. Just sanding that all off, and then we can DIY the other side. I want it to kind of look a little bit like driftwood, so I'm mixing some ivory together with some antique wax by Waverly. It's my favorite way to get this color. There is a similar color with apple barrel called Beachcombers Beige, but this is maybe a little bit lighter than that. I distress the back of it, letting some of that brown from the back of the house come through. That just helps give me a distressed look already. And then I distress it some more with just some antique wax by Waverly and a dry brush. And I blend that in with a baby wipe, and it gives me this perfect little driftwood background for our house. It looks so much better. I put some hot glue here along the house and just glue it back on. Again, I want to make sure that none of that paper really shows through. That kind of ripped off when I took it apart. And it's just easier to DIY it if you take the back off of it first. Now for the nativity set, we're actually going to be using the Dollar Tree little mini Jenga blocks from the toy aisle to make our nativity set. We're going to do Mary and Joseph. And then I want to do the manger too. And I also want to do the baby. So this is how I'm going to set it up. For the heads, I'm going to use some of the wood beads. So I'm going to need 3 of those, Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. So I kind of lay it all out so I know what I'm going to do before I start putting it together. For the manger, I just want like a V shape like that. And so one side is going to be like a little higher than the other, but you can kind of make it work. I just hot glue them together like that onto the house itself. And then we can start working on Mary and Joseph. I want to paint the Jenga blocks. These are going to be like their body. And so I'm going to do this one in this light blue color. I think this is cloudless, it looks like. And then this one, I also wanted it blue, but I decided to do it brighter, and I did this one in turquoise. And I just kind of wipe off the excess paint. I do like, the wood grain to come through a little bit. Anytime you distress something, I think it looks really cool with coastal farmhouse decor. Now, this piece is going to be baby Jesus, so I need it to be smaller. I'm using my miter scissors to try to cut one of these down smaller. I just need a smaller body for a baby. And it worked. So I have a little one there for baby Jesus. And then I thought we could add some burlap details to this as well. That's going to go with the coastal feel. And we can wrap baby Jesus in like burlap. So I just have some burlap roll ribbon here. And I just cut off a little piece and wrap that around the little Jenga block. Like a little bundled baby wrapped up in a blanket. And I'm using all of the coastal colors, like the different blues, the driftwood, the burlap. It's just going to give it that coastal vibe for this DIY. If you wanted to do more of the traditional colors for Christmas, you could always do all of this for that as well. I glue the little wood bead to the top for the little baby head. And I just use the same size wood beads for all of their heads. You could do a smaller one for baby Jesus if you wanted to. And I'm going to glue one on here for this one with like the hole going straight up. So you won't be able to see that in the end. And I glue it on the light blue one too. I'm going to use that same burlap for some details here, making a little head wrap to go down the sides. I attach it to the side of the Jenga block and wrap it all the way around, just attaching it with a dot of hot glue there. That's going to be Mary. And then I cut another little strip out, and I'm just going to make kind of a head cover here for Joseph by gluing that to the wood bead at the top and just kind of wrapping it around. Adds a little fun detail to them, but I don't want like any face or anything like that on them. Just some general shapes. So this one is going to be Joseph. I'm going to attach him a little higher like that so it'll look like he's a little bit taller maybe. And then baby Jesus can go right here in the manger, like right in front. Isn't this so cute? I absolutely love this idea. So then I just used some hot glue to glue the Jenga blocks down. Mary right here, Joseph to her side. If you wanted to add more of the nativity people to this, you totally could, or even animals, you could get creative. But I was looking for something just very simple and abstract like that. Now, I did want some hay for the manger. I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree raffia. You could also use like grass skirt, whatever you have. And I'm just going to cut some of this down here, like a little bundle. I tie it off in the middle just so I can kind of have some control over this. Raffia is not my favorite thing to work with. And then I can attach it here like underneath the manger. So I just hot glue that little bundle down. That also kind of has like a coastal touch to it. And it definitely goes great with the colors. Now, for the final step, I wanted like the little star. And I'm going to use a starfish. So I just attached that to the top. And we have a cute little manger scene. I love it. Joseph and Mary and baby Jesus. And you know what? Since it's coastal, let's add some seashells as well. These are some of the little Dollar Tree seashells. And I have this like ledge here at the bottom that doesn't have anything on it. So I decided to up the coastal touch and add a few seashells down here just for fun. Just attaching them all with hot glue, and I love it. I think it's perfect, and I use so many starfish to decorate for Christmas in my home. I love it. Isn't that so cute? It's a very simple, but some of those DIYs are some of my favorites. Really fun, and it goes great with my coastal Christmas decor. Hey guys, have you checked out my new website yet? It is craftybeach.net. I'm trying to archive all of my DIYs that I do here on YouTube over there. You can find a photo of everything that you can pin on Pinterest so you can remember to make those DIYs. craftybeach.net, not .com. Okay, for the next DIY, we're using Dollar Tree white rope and one of their little metal signs. And then I'm using some of these little bamboo pieces. I actually got these on Amazon. I think I have these linked in my Amazon shop as well. They're flat. And you could use the Dollar Tree wood dowels for this if you don't have these, but I thought I would take advantage of them being flat. I want to try to make a macrame Christmas tree. So I'm cutting them down to size. I kind of figured out how big of a Christmas tree I wanted. And then I'll need another piece for the bottom, like this. And I'm going to be using the Dollar Tree rope. You could also use macrame cord. They have that at Dollar Tree now too. But in case you can't find that, the rope is usually a little bit easier to find. I decided to cut a new piece down there for the bottom, and then I'll need a third piece here for the middle. So basically all I'm doing is just like kind of making a frame. I wanted the piece to be a little longer. Now, right here, I should have cut this piece longer to make the tree trunk. I don't know what I was thinking. So if you're going to recreate, definitely keep that in mind. I use a little bit of hot glue here to set our frame. And we're going to be winding this tree shaped structure with the rope to look like macrame. Really fun, and the rope definitely has like a coastal touch. We're going to be adding a few more coastal details as well. And I'm going to be hot gluing that one like right there in the middle. But I wanted to start with the bottom of the macrame tree first, so I didn't attach that one quite yet. For the rope, I think this might be the thinner white nautical rope. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to be unwinding it into 3 little pieces like that. And I have my first piece here. I'm going to measure out about how long I want the piece to be here on the bottom, and then cut another one so I have a kind of a reference piece to keep them all the same length. I'm going to fold it in half like that, loop it, and then pull the 2 tails through like this. And even though this is rope, it's not like the thin macrame cord, you can unwind the rope and make it kind of, you can comb it out, make it look like individual strands. So I'm going to continue that pattern. I just keep cutting another piece the same length, looping it, pulling the two tails down or through and then down like this, and making sure that I do it all from the same direction. That way it kind of looks consistent. I want to go all the way across this bottom of the Christmas tree, just repeating that. And all of the macrame projects like this that I've done on my channel, I really love doing them. They're really fun to do. They're really something good to do while you're watching TV or listening to something. And that looks pretty good. I have the entire bottom filled up with those rope pieces. And this is what I mean. I'm just using a comb that I use for crafting. And I'm combing out that rope and it's going to give that great fringe look. Doesn't that look cool? For a little macrame Christmas tree. As you can see, it does make them kind of a little bit different lengths when you do that. So you might want to trim it up a little bit. I trimmed mine, so they're a little bit more consistent and they look cleaner. Now I'm going to go ahead and attach the middle piece now that I have the base done. And again, I just attached that with hot glue just like this. Now I'm actually going to be using that rope and we're going to be weaving a great like macrame pattern through this tree. I've done a couple different versions of this tree. I've done another one where I think I just continued that same kind of like macrame that we did at the bottom, like all the way up. I got the idea for this one for something that I saw at Target for a lot more money than I put this together for. And I wanted to kind of use that for reference. So again, with the unrolled rope, I just hot glue that to the base to get it started. I'm going to tape off the end of my rope there so it doesn't get all frayed with all the weaving and stuff like that. And I go under the middle piece of the tree like that and then wrap it around that middle post. I'm going to go ahead and pull that tight just like that. Have it come out the bottom side. And then I'm going to go around this piece, bring that around, and then I can come back to the middle. Since I am starting here at the bottom, I want to make sure this stays in place. So I did a little dot of hot glue there. I'm going to find my end and I'm going to go under this middle section again, wrapping that around. This time I'm going towards the top and pulling it to the other side. So you can kind of see the pattern that it's creating. I wrapped that around and came back and I'm just doing the same thing I did with those first two over and over until I run out of this unwound rope. The skinnier rope is a little bit longer than the wider one from the Dollar Tree, so it will go a little bit further. Basically, you're not going to be able to see any of the wood on that middle post. I did run out right about here, so I just made sure that I'm starting and stopping on the back where you're not going to be able to see it. This is my second little section of rope that I unwound that I am weaving through, and I'm going to keep doing that, repeating that pattern all the way up till I get to the very top. It's pretty cool. You can see some of the wood through, on the sides because it's not wrapped as tightly as I wrapped the middle section. But it was actually really easy to put together, and it's definitely really unique. I want it as tight as I can get it, so I kind of just go push it down till I get all the way to the very top and then kind of stop right there. This kind of got messed up a little bit with all the weaving, so I'm just going to go through the bottom of the tree, comb that out again to make it look nice. Doesn't that look cool? It was really fun to put together. I've done like some macrame pumpkins for like Thanksgiving on my channel, like a really giant one for my kitchen table. I really love that look. That's when I realized that I should have left that on there because I was going to need a tree trunk. I'm actually using a Dollar Tree wood block for the base and another piece of that bamboo wood that I got on Amazon for the stem. I do want like a little slot inside the wood. To do that, I just use like a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and a hammer to make a perfect little indentation in here. for the flat bamboo. It's kind of a unique shape, and the screwdriver did a good job. It was just a matter of kind of drilling it out with that. I want it to be nice and strong enough to be able to hold up the tree. I'm going to cut this down here and then attach that to the tree here on the back. And I do love these bamboo. I got a package of these years ago on Amazon, and they've lasted forever. I've used them for so many DIYs. They're just a little bit different than anything I found at Dollar Tree. For the tree topper, I'm using a starfish, of course. These are the little tiny ones that you get on Amazon. I'm going to glue, I decided to go all ivory with that one. And so I glued an ivory one to the top. And then just for some more coastal fun, I decided to make ornaments out of seashells. Again, these are the little seashells that come in the glass bottles from the Dollar Tree. And I've been having trouble finding those at Dollar Tree as well. I do have a giant jar of these linked on my Amazon shop that is probably equivalent. You get a ton, and there you even get some of those little starfish as well. Once I get it decorated with seashells, I just put some hot glue in that slot in the wood block that we drilled open there and put the bamboo stick down inside. It's going to be heavy enough, I think, to hold it up. I did want to give it a coastal touch too, so I just take a seashell from my seashell collection and I'm just going to attach that to the front, just like that. Very coastal. I love the macrame. And the Dollar Tree rope itself, you know, always looks really coastal, but we added lots more coastal touches with the starfish, the seashells, and such. Isn't that fun? I really love that. It almost looks a little bit like a sail as well. Maybe you can make a sailboat kind of like that. Very fun, and I have done a different version of this one. It'll probably be in my next Christmas video. For the next DIY, we're going to do a coastal version of Santa's sleigh. I actually found this one at Target Dollar Spot for $5. It is actually a really nice size, and I thought it was perfect for this. I didn't like the black color of the sleigh, though, so I'm going to make a few changes. I just unscrewed it. I figured that would be the easiest way to kind of change the color of it. For this one, I'm going to switch up the color schemes. We're going to still be doing Coastal Christmas, but instead of blue, I'm going to be doing some green and pink, and you'll see what I mean by the pink in just a minute. So I just take some Christmas green acrylic paint, and I'm just repainting the sleigh. I think Dollar Spot at Target has different versions of these. I don't know if Dollar Tree Plus does, but you should be able to find some kind of a sleigh. If you can't find anything there, you might want to check your Goodwill store. I seem to be able to find one every year. Now for the sleigh itself, I want to decorate the sides, and I'm going to use one of these like little wood signs from the Dollar Tree that say Season's Greetings. It actually fits perfectly up there. It's like a ribbon sign. I think that will be really cute on the front. I do like the wood color of the sleigh, so I'm definitely going to leave that alone. I told you I was going to do green and pink, so I use like a candy pink acrylic color here and just a makeup sponge to paint that. A makeup sponge works perfectly because you're not going to get lots of extra paint inside those cutout letters causing any issues. But if you do, be sure to kind of get it out before it sets up. So I think that looks good. We're going to attach that to the side, so we'll have the green bottom of the sleigh that we painted. And I'm so glad I decided to unscrew that because it was definitely a lot easier to paint it when it was not attached. So I'm just going to go ahead and screw that back on. We're going to be attaching the Season's Greetings there to the side of the sleigh. And then to pull the sleigh, I have a really fun find from Dollar Tree that is perfect for tropical or a beach Christmas. A little hot glue here. So you don't have to stick with like the beachy blue colors to do like a coastal Christmas. That is for sure. You can kind of mix it up a little bit. Now I do want to fill it up. I don't want to fill it up with like Santa or anything like that. I want to make it more decorative. So I'm going to use some of the Dollar Tree floral foam and cut a piece down that will fit inside of it that we can fill it up with some tropical florals. It is not quite as thick as this though, so I did have to cut it down some more to make just a tiny wedge. Now for the flowers, I'm going to be using these poinsettias from the Dollar Tree in white. They're so pretty. I think these look fun for like a tropical vibe. And the white color goes well with like the green and the pinks that we're going to be using. So I'm just cutting those down using the floral foam to arrange those. They're nice and full, so they fill up the sleigh rather easily. I guess you could always fill it up with some like wrapped presents or something like that too. You could do something really cute with that. But I kind of wanted it to be a floral sleigh just for decor. But I told you I had a surprise for how we were going to pull this sleigh because I do want something in front of it. Instead of reindeer, we're going to be using pink flamingos. I found these at the Dollar Tree. They are light up little pink flamingos. They're so cute. I love them. So I picked up 5 of them. These were like at the checkout area of my store. Be sure to test them. I noticed that some of them didn't want to work all the time. But I'm going to go ahead and turn them on. This is how they light up. Isn't that so cute? And instead of reindeer pulling the sleigh, we're going to have flamingo because you can't get much more tropical than that, right? I'm going to line those up in front of the sleigh. You know, fun fact about flamingos is that we used to have them in Florida, and I think they were pretty much hunted till we didn't have them anymore. But now occasionally we get them, and I have been on a mission for a couple of years to spot them. I know they've been like at Ding Darling over in Sanibel and stuff like that, but supposedly we have them again now. I see the roseate spoonbills, but I have not been lucky enough to find a wild flamingo yet, but I'm sure I will. Now, since my lead flamingo is going to be the lead reindeer, I decided to repaint his nose, bright red, of course, to make him our little Rudolph flamingo. And I just painted it white so it would take the red color a little bit better over the black. There he is, our little Rudolph flamingo. And then I do want them to look like reindeer, right? So I'm going to use some of the coral tree ornaments. They're not really coral, but I call them that because that's what they look like. And we're actually going to use those to make antlers for the little flamingos. I needed a little bit more of a reindeer touch. See how they kind of look like antlers? If you were to bust them off. So that's what I'm going to do. They are made out of plastic, so they're easy enough to break. And I'm just going to break down pieces of those to make little antlers for each one of our little pink flamingos. And I love this idea. It turned out so cute. So I'm just breaking off 2 for each one. So I'm going to need a total of 10. And I'm just kind of doing like kind of the outer pieces. It's a little bit easier to do. They're all a little bit different, but antlers are all a little bit different. So I think that'll work. I attach them with a very small dot of hot glue. And since I'm gluing it to the plastic like that, you just kind of have to hold them until they start to set up a little bit before you let go of them for sure. But once you get them glued on there, they should be good to go. Isn't that so fun? Look at him. I love it. A little reindeer flamingo. I am a big fan of flamingos. Anytime there is a chance to see them, I'm always over there looking at the flamingos at the zoo or SeaWorld or whatever because they're so cute. And I just do that on all of them. And we're going to have a set of reindeer. If you can find more of the pink flamingos, you can always have more reindeer as well. But I thought 5 would work perfectly. Let me show you how it turned out. Our little Seasons Greetings Target Dollar Spot sled with the white poinsettias. And of course, our little pink flamingo reindeer pulling the sleigh. Super fun. I think that's one of my favorite coastal Christmas crafts I've ever done. Just because it's so creative. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Now, kind of sticking with the pink flamingo theme, I found one of these little pink flamingo mini planters from the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could actually just put a Christmas tree in him. I think that would be really easy to do. This is one of the little bottle brush Christmas trees that I actually got at the Target Dollar Spot. It's like an ivory color. And it looks a little bit better than the ones that you can get from the Dollar Tree, but you could probably use one of those as well. And look how it fits perfectly down inside the little pink flamingo to make a little pink flamingo Christmas tree. This would be great just to kind of sit around in some smaller areas or to add to like a tier tray or something like that for Christmas. I decided to, of course, add a little starfish as a tree topper right on top just to finish it off. I'm just going to use one of the natural colored ones. I also get those blue ones on Amazon as well. And I'm actually going to paint it to go with my green and pink theme. So I do a little bit of green acrylic on there. And we have a cute little tree topper. Since you'll be able to see it from the other side, I went ahead and painted the back as well. It's very delicate and it is a like dried little starfish. So I want to be careful with it that I don't break it in painting it and stuff like that. But super easy to attach. I'm not going to do any ornaments or anything like that. I just wanted to do a little tree topper just for a little detail. Isn't that so cute? And you can't get much easier than that. A little pink flamingo mini Christmas tree. I love it. If you wanted to add some little tiny seashells to that for ornaments, you totally could. But how cute is that pink flamingo? I love those little mini planters like that from the Dollar Tree. I've got some really cute ones like squirrels and stuff like that as well. They have some sea creatures sometimes too. Very fun and whimsical for a tropical Christmas. Now, the next one, I also found this window decal from Dollar Tree that says dreaming of a pink Christmas, and it has a flamingo on it. So I thought I would make a little mini sign to go along with these DIYs. This is just one of the Dollar Tree green signs or green framed signs. I like to buy these for the frame. The fact that it's already green, it's perfect color for Christmas decor. I'm just going to kind of pop this out and kind of make it my own. You could leave the paper on there if you wanted. I went ahead and kind of tore mine off just to kind of get it out of the way. And I'm just going to cover it with something else that I can attach the window cling to. And what I'm going to use for that is just some plain white cardstock. I love using this to craft with. It works great for like decoupage projects, and I think it'll make a great background for this. So just using the back of the sign for reference, I'm just going to cut that cardstock down. It's going to give me a perfect white background here without having to mess with trying to remove all the paper and everything that was kind of glued on there. So I'm just going to use Mod Podge actually to attach it. So I just do a nice coat of Mod Podge down here and cover the whole thing and add that to it. I'm also going to be using the Mod Podge to attach the window decal. And it's a great, easy way to make a little miniature sign like this. Again, it's not too big. This would be great for a tier tray or somewhere where you're decorating, you don't have a lot of room. That looks pretty good. I made sure not to kind of keep my hands dry. When you smooth that out, you don't want to tear your paper at all. And then I'm going to do a Mod Podge, a very thin coat here on top to attach the window cling. Now, if you had a frame that had glass in it, you could always kind of glue the glass back in it and do the window cling to it and not have to have a background at all if you didn't want to. Once I get that on there, I just kind of center it on there, smooth it on, go over the whole thing with some Mod Podge so everything kind of has that same sheen. And I like to use matte Mod Podge for that because I want to take away kind of the shine from the window decal. So it's not super obvious that that used to be a window decal. And once I got it all on there and dried, I went over it with another coat, again, to try to take away kind of that plastic feel and to make it kind of more level with the paper. Super cute. The frame is already the perfect color of green. And I'm just going to pop this back in here. I'm just going to stand it up on its side just like that. And it goes great with the other pink flamingo Christmas DIYs that we have done here. Dreaming of a pink Christmas, a little pink flamingo standing in snow with like a little hat on. Really cute and colorful for coastal Christmas. So this is the green, is almost, a traditional Christmas color, but switching it to green and pink instead of green and red is a really fun idea. And I think that's it for the pink flamingo crafts for Coastal Christmas, at least in this DIY video. For the next DIY, we're going to DIY one of these tinsel candy canes from the Dollar Tree. I love the cages of these. I do not like the tinsel at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove all this and see what we can do to make this coastal, but also a candy cane. I know they also have like the metal wreath forms for candy canes. I've been looking for them though. I haven't been able to find any, at least so far this year. And again, I'm just unwinding everything. I just want that plastic cage that's underneath. And what we're going to use to replace the tinsel is some Dollar Tree rope. I was afraid that these tabs would kind of get in the way. So I did go all the way around the candy cane and cut them all off, just so I didn't have to worry about like that red plastic tab sticking out when I go to wrap this with rope. And we're not going to do a traditional like candy cane colors. We're going to do more of a coastal feel. This is the nautical rope that I'm going to use from the Dollar Tree. Again, this is, I think, kind of the longer, skinnier one of the two that I find at my store. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap the entire candy cane with the rope. It's going to give it such a fun coastal feel. I start here on the back, hot gluing that on there. And I do have to kind of do some interesting things to get it to wrap tightly all the way around, but I'll take you through and show you how I did it. I kind of want it to be a little bit at an angle. So I kind of start gluing it at an angle like that. Once I get it glued on at the very end, I can just simply wrap it tightly all the way around. Again, I don't want any of that plastic cage showing through. And it does take quite a bit of rope because you're wrapping the back of it as well. So that's about how far one package got me. I just made sure to start and stop here on the back, just using hot glue to attach the ends. Now, when you get up to like this curvy part, this is where it gets a little bit interesting and you have to try to figure out how to wrap that exactly. I got right about here. And then I realized I had to kind of like skip some sections to kind of make it make sense. So I just finish off that package of rope by wrapping 3 and then another like a third row like right over here. I can always go back and kind of fill those sections, missing sections in. Then I'm going to start here at the other end of the candy cane with my third piece of Dollar Tree rope. Again, you have to hot glue it at the beginning to kind of get it started. But I love rope crafting from Dollar Tree. It's like one of my favorite craft materials. This end was super easy to wrap, but then you kind of get to this area here that it was a little bit tight before because the bottom is kind of all filled up, but the top has plenty of room. So how I did that was I just kind of hot glued it to the back and pulled it back kind of like in a V shape towards the front. Cut that piece down to kind of fill up that little area there and hot glued it down. I still have one gap here I need to fill in. And so I just fill that in, attaching it again, kind of doing the V shape on the front. I also did the V shape here on the front. And again, just using hot glue to make sure that stays in place. I did another V on the back and the front. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth and doing that until that entire section's filled out. That's one way you can kind of get around the bottom being too full to wrap any more rope on. I cut that piece there in the front to stop it. And then I have one more section here that I need to do the same thing. So again, I just do a V, attach it with hot glue, get it in there as tightly as I can. So it'll kind of keep that repeating pattern. A little bit challenging there, but we were able to get it. Now for the candy cane stripes, I'm going to go ahead and use some painter's tape to tape like little diagonal candy cane stripes. I did it kind of diagonally on the candy cane itself. I'm kind of reversing direction for the stripes. And I got to right about here with my painter's tape. And then I was like, should I continue that pattern or should I switch it up and kind of come from this side? And I decided to kind of continue that stripe straight down. and then do more like going around it like that, 2 more stripes. And then that didn't really make sense for the end piece, so I went ahead and replaced that as well. Now for the paint, I'm actually using chalk paint. It works really well on like material and rope and stuff like that, but you could use acrylic as well. This is, I think, the blue agave color of the chalk paint by Waverly from Walmart. And I'm using a brush to kind of get down into the rope fibers to make sure that my blue stripes really are going to pop against that white rope. And again, I'm using the blue for Christmas. Don't be afraid to use it. It can be really pretty. And this goes on kind of a beachy blue color, but it dries almost more of like a turquoise color, especially when you can contrast that against the white rope. So I went ahead, painted it all, dried it, just removing all the painter's tape to reveal our great candy cane. Doesn't this look so much better than it did before when it started its life as a little tinsel candy cane? I love it. You could use this as a wall hanging or hang it on a door. I'm going to use mine actually to hang on a door. I think it'll look really pretty. I want to add a little touch of red, so I'm using some red ribbon, and I'm just going to simply make a simple little hanger, just looping that and gluing that to the back of the rope for a little candy cane hanger. I think that looks really cute though, so I'm going to add another little pop of red just by taking some more of that ribbon, making a very simple little bow, and attaching that there by the hanger too, just for the little finishing touch on our coastal candy cane. So even candy cane you can make look a little bit coastal with the right colors. This is how it looks on my door. I hung it on my door to my garage. I think it's so cute. It has so much texture with the wrapping of the rope, and it looks so high end. I really love how this project turned out. And if you wanted to do it with the traditional red stripes for a candy cane, you could do that as well. Now for the next DIY, we're going to make, I'm going to do a grouping of 3 little coastal Christmas trees to decorate my shelf for Christmas. For the driftwood, I'm actually using the Target driftwood. This is a vase filler that I get at Target. And the reason I like crafting with this is because it's nice and flat. I always try to stock up on this because I really love it. It's one of my favorite. And I always try to get it on sale as well. I'm using a Dollar Tree foam cone for the Christmas tree. And as you can see, I am hot gluing the driftwood to it, making sure to overlap the bottom a little bit because I don't want you to be able to see any of the foam. And the wood will help it stand up as well. Whenever you're crafting with driftwood, it's a little bit kind of like a puzzle. You're putting the pieces together. You can overlap them. You want them all to be a little bit different. But what I'm going to do is just go all the way around doing a row to make a little driftwood Christmas tree. And this turned out so cute. I've done another version of this where I've done like use the wood stems from the Dollar Tree. And that gives you a totally different vibe as well. Really cute. I think I ended up kind of flocking that too to make it look snowy. And so for the second row, I'm just overlapping the first row a little bit like that. And, you know, hot glue and foam doesn't always mix well, but if you work quickly with this, you won't have many problems. I'm going to go in with a third row of driftwood here, and I'm just going to keep building this tree all the way to the top. I don't want any of the foam to be visible. And the foam trees from the Dollar Tree are not super big, so it's going to be kind of a small to medium-sized little Christmas tree for my shelf. I'm going straight up to, like, you can see where it's kind of got a blunt end to the cone with the driftwood. But again, I don't want you to see that part, so I will keep building once I got to the top of it. I really have this sped up because it is a little time consuming gluing all the driftwood on there, so keep that in mind. If you had some real driftwood, I think that would be great as well. So here to, I don't know why they don't go all the way to a point with their like little foam cones like this. I just kind of fill it in until all of my pieces kind of like touch in the middle and kind of use pieces that work. I even put a small piece on top just to finish it completely off. It's so cute. It just needs a tree topper. Of course, I'm using a starfish. This is just a little starfish that I got on Amazon. It's actually like a little real one. And I just hot glue that to the top. Actually really simple to do, a little time consuming, a little driftwood Christmas tree, but I love how it turned out. It's so cute. Any kind of like a wood shaving like that is going to give you almost that driftwood feel. I kind of like the light color of this. It's very coastal looking. And I told you I was going to be doing 3 coastal Christmas trees here. So I'm going to do 3 that I can display together. For the next one, I'm using one of the Dollar Tree tinsel Christmas trees. These are great for making Christmas trees as well. I use these a lot, and I use the large party hats from the party aisle at the Dollar Tree to make Christmas trees. For the material, I got this at Walmart. It's that big fuzzy yarn. I got it on clearance for like $3.50 for this giant package. And I'm just going to start by tying it to the bottom. It's kind of a great like beachy blue color, but it's also got like a silver glitter like tinsel throughout, which I think it makes it look sparkly for Christmas. I just tied it to the cage and used hot glue to attach it all the way to the bottom so that it stays in place down there. And we're going to simply wrap this cage with this yarn. As you can see, this yarn is so chunky. It's not going to take a lot of it. If you were to do this with some Dollar Tree yarn, you could. You're just going to have to go around it a lot more than I did. But I've never really crafted with this giant yarn like this before. It was actually really fun and easy. It kind of goes on just like rope. And so using like the little tabs that were on there, I can wrap it all the way to the top and just cut and glue the tip down. Now, you could leave it just with the yarn. It's really kind of pretty as is, but I wanted mine to be coastal. So we're going to add some ornaments to mine to decorate it a little bit further. To do that, I'm going to use starfish. These are the little tiny starfish that I get on Amazon. Sometimes you get them and they're all real tiny like this. Sometimes you get them, they're like half tiny, half that medium size that I've been using. So you never really know what you're going to get, but I think they're really cute. And I order them all the time from Amazon. They are linked in my Amazon shop as well. And I am just going to glue those all over for little ornaments, kind of staggering them, adding a little dot of hot glue everywhere I want a starfish. And I'm only going to do like the front and the 2 sides. No need to decorate the back of this. You're not going to be able to see it back there. But if you did have it somewhere where you're going to be able to see all the sides, you might want to go all the way around. I kind of like the fact that the starfish are all a little bit different sizes as well. And I just do that all the way to the bottom. I'm not going to do like a tree topper on this. I already have, I think, enough starfish on there. And I think this is going to look really cute sitting next to that driftwood Christmas tree. Maybe a few more here just to finish it off. And let me show you how it turned out. It's kind of hard to see that tinsel in this lighting, but it does sparkle a little bit with the tinsel. And I love the starfish all over. That material looks really cozy and warm too, which is very fun for Christmas. Isn't that so cute? Now for the 3rd Christmas tree, I'm going to also be using one of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees. Again, for the cage, I'm going to remove all of the garland. Really easy to disassemble those. And I want this one to be a different size for a little variety. So I just cut it off underneath the first ring there to make it shorter. And this one's going to be a rope Christmas tree. Now, I see these for sale all the time. There's no need to buy them. They're so easy to make. I use that Dollar Tree cage, Dollar Tree brown rope. And again, I'm going to start at the base, just hot gluing that all the way around. I want to make sure that I cover all of that like red cage. You're not going to be able to see any of the plastic. And this is honestly the most time-consuming part of this project because the rest of it's really easy. Once you get it like wrapped all the way around like that, you're just going to wrap it kind of like we wrapped the yarn Christmas tree, but this time with rope. Super easy. So just kind of hold it tight and continue that wrapping around. I did want to make sure that I didn't have like any of that red showing through. So I did hot glue it to itself there. Anytime I thought there was going to be in much of a gap, but I just do that and start wrapping it all the way around the tree. My rope is not going to make it all the way, so what I'm going to do is kind of start and stop the rope on the back so it'll kind of blend in a little bit. But this is how far one package got me. Pretty close. And I just start a new piece of rope just by removing the tape from the end and continuing that. Now, you probably wouldn't have to tape it. You could just wrap it. But I was kind of concerned that you were going to be able to see the red cage through there. So I did add a little hot glue here every time I wrapped it around just to make it a little bit more secure. And if you wanted to make a bigger version of this, you could do it again like with the party hats from the Dollar Tree, or use the entire tinsel tree to make a bigger one. You could even do it with the foam cone one, but that one's probably going to give you one about the same size as this. Whenever I do a brown rope project, I always like to burn off the fuzzies with a lighter to clean it up a little bit. And here it is, our little rope Christmas tree. Really can't get much easier than that. I did the starfish topper on the driftwood one, and I'm going to display them all together. So I didn't think this one really needed any other decor. I think that the rope is perfect. And I will show you how all three of these look together, little coastal Christmas trees. Aren't they so cute? A good variety, I think, of heights and materials, and very coastal. I love DIYing Christmas trees. I think they're so fun, and they're so easy to do. But this is how the three of them all look together. I displayed these in one of my cabinets for Christmas, and I love how they turned out. I really love that driftwood one. That's my favorite. Hey, have you guys made some great Christmas DIYs lately? Everybody will love to see them. Make sure you're a member of our private Facebook group. I have it linked in the description of today's video. We would love to see what you've been crafting. The next DIY, I'm going to make something really simple. I picked up a Christmas sign, but it doesn't really have to be Christmas because we're going to kind of make it our own. I did like the white wood frame on that. And I'm going to kind of continue that with some of this removable wallpaper from the Dollar Tree and the white board pattern. I'm just going to cover everything that was on there so I can make an easy little coastal Christmas sign. I'm actually making this for the side of my cabinet for my kitchen. So I just cut that down to side, peel and stick, and the white board look goes great with the white wood frame on this sign. And I'm going to make it a horizontal sign instead of a vertical sign, how it was hanging before. So that's one reason why I filled up the holes there on the side. Now, I do like to distress their wood wallpaper a little bit with a little ivory, just to kind of make it look a little bit more authentic and a little bit less paper. Now for the decoration, we're going to do a simple little Santa Claus. This is one of the little wood Santa Claus ornaments, and we're going to make a little coastal Santa out of him. And again, this project is super simple. I just wanted something like blue and red, something that said Christmas, something easy. I'm using a turquoise acrylic paint and a makeup sponge, and I'm just painting our little Santa Claus blue. I'm also using a little wood palm tree that I had left over from the summer section at Dollar Tree, and I painted that turquoise as well. I'm going to combine them with a little Dollar Tree Merry Christmas ornament to make a cute little sign. For the coastal feel, I do distress them with a little bit of ivory and dry brushing to give them that coastal farmhouse feel. And then this is the tag I got for the sign. It says Merry Christmas in red and white. I am going to take some of the traditional Christmas colors and ribbons off of these and just leave them Merry Christmas. Now, since I changed the sign up, I need to make a new hanger. So I just use my staple gun, and I'm going to glue some twine here to the back. It does have a frame, so it's thick enough to use my staple gun on to make a simple hanger before I go any further on the sign. I'm going to clean up the fuzzies on that one a little bit. It was a little rough looking. Kind of goes with the coastal feel, though. I attached my little palm tree up here in the background. I'm going to have my little waving Santa Claus right here in front in blue. Just very abstract. I'm going to cut down one of the wooden dominoes from Dollar Tree just to make a little bit of a spacer, to make them stick out a little bit like the palm tree did. because the palm tree was like a sticker. And then I can do the Merry Christmas tag signs up here in the corner. They are covered in glitter, which is not very coastal, so I decided to kind of go over mine with some matte Mod Podge just to tone that down a little bit to make it more what I was going for with this DIY. And we are going to cover up the end of the tags there that look a little rough from the glue that's on there from all the decor we removed. I just hot glue them up there in the corner of my sign where they kind of come down the sides, and also glue these ends down to the sign itself. I told you this one was going to be really easy. And then a few more coastal touches. I use a little Amazon sand dollar and a little seashell from Dollar Tree to cover my tag to replace the decor that was on there before. And then I used a larger seashell down here in the corner just to finish it off. Super easy and fun. Definitely goes with the coastal Christmas vibe. And it was really easy to put together. This is how it looks like on the side of my cabinet for Christmas. I love decorating for Christmas. I really need to get started on that, I think, soon. Maybe I'll get my son to help when he comes home for Thanksgiving. For the next DIY, we're going to DIY one of these little tinsel Christmas ornaments from the Dollar Tree and make it into a coastal Christmas ornament. I've got a really fun idea for this one. Again, I just want the cage underneath all this tinsel, so I'm removing all of the garland, ribbons, hanger, everything. I also go ahead and cut the tabs off. I like to use like the KitchenAid scissors for this. They're heavy duty and it's going to get that out of the way. We're not going to be wrapping this. It would be kind of hard to wrap with a round shape, so I'm actually going to be covering it with fabric. This is some fabric that I got at the Dollar Tree. It is like a turquoise material, and what I want to do is make this look like a glass fishing float. And so I want to wrap the whole thing in one color. I just take that square of material from the Dollar Tree, and this was such an easy way to do this. I just grabbed all the excess material here in the back, wrapping it tight into that circular shape and sealing it with a zip tie. I cut off the excess fabric. You're not going to be able to see it back there anyway. And it gave me really good coverage for this because I wanted it to be a blue fishing float. And now to make that, I need to cover it with like fishing net. So I'm going to make my own with some Dollar Tree twine. I start here and just go across the ornament like that. You know, an ornament and a fishing float have the same shape, so that's really an advantage here. And then I do a second row of it, knotting that off as well. Attaching it with a little hot glue here on the back just so that starts to stay put. And we're going to make the netting for the fishing float just out of this twine. So I'm kind of trying to do like a grid pattern. So I'm going to do a third row. Again, I'm kind of at an awkward angle, at least getting started with it. So I do attach it to the fabric on the back with some hot glue. We're not going to be able to see it back there. And I do my third row. Just knotting it on the back so we have the beginning of our net. Now we're going to crisscross the other direction like that. It's going to give me that net feel. So I start here at the top, just knotting that on. It gets a little easier the more you go with this. I tie another knot here because you're tying it to the knot or to the rope that you've already attached to the ornament. And I tie my third knot here, giving me that net look. I'm going to do another knot here at the end just for a little bit of decor. Wrap that all the way around and then start with my next row, knotting that as I go. So this was a rather longer piece of twine that I used to get this one going. And you can kind of see the net form taking place. And I love how this turned out. Of course, it's not glass, it's fabric, but the blue does give you the look of the fishing float, and it was very whimsical wall hanging for a coastal Christmas. I needed to start a new piece, so I tied a piece here for the third row, going down, just knotting every time I come to a new piece of the twine, and tying it off here on the back. Now, it's a little off-centered, so I decided to add like a fourth row. And then I can do a fourth row the other way too. So I kind of wrap that around the top. That's my 4th row, like going that way. Attaching everything on the back like that, just tying it together, made it a lot simpler. And then I think I need a 4th row going this direction too. So again, I just tie it to the back, pull it around, and knot it to each one. And we have that great fishing net pattern. If you wanted to use, I don't really care for the Dollar Tree fishing net that they have in the summer section. It doesn't really give you that coastal feel. I don't really like it. I don't use it very often. So I usually try to DIY my own with something like this. And I'm just kind of arranging it, trying to make it look a little bit more even. Everything in the front is just kind of on there by friction. Everything's kind of tied and glued to the back. For the top of the fishing float, I'm going to take some more of that twine, wrap that around the top of it, just to kind of cover up the blue fabric up there. And then we can also use some twine to make a hanger for this to make a fun wall hanging. I love it. It's so coastal and fun. I'm going to glue down this twine here so it kind of stays on there and doesn't slip off. I thought the perfect final touch would be some Dollar Tree wooden fish to go with the nautical coastal feel. And so I picked up 2 of the little wood fish, and then I'm going to use some of this like red, is it kind of yarn, I guess, from the Dollar Tree? It's used for decor. I'm going to tie that to the top, and I'm going to make that into like the fish stringer, if you will. So I tie it, cut off 2 tails to the string, and then I'm just going to glue the wood fish on there. I'm just going to leave them the natural wood. I think they look fun like that. Just making sure that the writing is on the side where you really can't see it. And it's going to be like a little stringer of fish attached to this little fishing float. Very whimsical, very unique, but I love it. You guys know I'm always trying to make everything coastal or nautical if I can. It's just really fun. And then for a little Christmas cheer, I'm going to add a little red ribbon. I just take some red ribbon, tie it into a bow, and I'm going to put that at the top of the sign as well. Right here where like the stringer of fish starts. Just to bring a little bit of Christmas red into this. And we have a little glass fishing float ornament, a sign. I love it. Very whimsical and something that would be great for Christmas decor if you enjoy like fishing or boating or anything like that in your home. Isn't that fun? I love it. Now, to kind of mix it up a little bit, we're going to do a coastal Christmas tree gnome. I picked up this beautiful metal flower pot from the Dollar Tree, and I actually picked up this bottle brush tree at the Target dollar spot. They're both this like mint green color, which I think is perfect for coastal crafting. And then I picked up a Dollar Tree gnome stocking. I love pulling these little beards off and using them to make gnomes. So easy. You get the beard, you get the nose. It's just a matter of getting it off of the stocking. You can use heat if you want. That fabric does melt a little bit though, so you have to be careful. This one came off pretty easily. And I'm going to make the gnome into, or the pot into like the gnome, and then the Christmas tree can be the gnome hat. So I just want to line that up for the top of the flower pot. I love that it's already this beautiful color and design. It's great for coastal. I just add some hot glue to the outside of the pot and glue the little gnome beard and nose on. And I buy these stockings and use them for gnomes year round on my channel. I love it. I'm a big fan of gnomes. I think they're so cute. I'm going to tack down his beard a little bit just to kind of keep it in place here along the sides. And the beard was just a little too long, so I'm going to trim it up a little bit so there's not a lot of overlap. Super cute, and that takes a lot of the work out of making a gnome for you. Now, the next coastal touch I'm going to use is some of the Dollar Tree white nautical rope. And I thought that would be fun to kind of line the top of this flower pot with. It's kind of be like the brim of the hat almost. So I attached that with some hot glue, and I went down a little bit from the top of the pot, and I'm going to go around, covering up the eyes of the gnome or gonk. I think a lot of you guys said it's called a gonk if you can't see the eyes on these little guys. And that's going to be the brim of his hat. I'm going to double it up. This is, I think, the wider white rope from the Dollar Tree, but it doesn't really matter. And I go around with a second row to fill that up. And that looks coastal, and it serves a purpose there for like the little brim of his hat almost. I just make sure to start and stop right there on the back of the gnome where you can't see it, attaching that with hot glue. I love the coastal color of this tree. I do need to fill up the flower pot, and I want to weigh it down. So I'm just using some Dollar Tree black stones to weigh it down, and a little bit of the foam from the Dollar Tree just to kind of fill up this space in there. For the tree itself, I'm going to decorate it with some Dollar Tree seashells. Some of the smaller ones that come in the glass bottles, I just go all over. And I just put a dot of hot glue on them, and they stick to the bottle brush tree really well. So it's going to be a decorated Christmas tree. It's also going to be a gnome hat. And I love the idea of making like a gnome pot like this. It's really fun. You could display this really indoor or outdoor. I think it would look great either way. The beard might not hold up too well out in the weather. You might need to put it like on a protected porch or something like that. Now, if you wanted, you could even add some like lights to this to make it light up. Maybe some like little white twinkle battery operated lights from Dollar Tree would be cute. And then I'm going to put this down into the little flower pot to make our gnome hat. Just like that. I decided to hot glue it down just to make it stay in there a little bit better against that floral foam. And that worked well because it kept it flat, lifted it up a little bit, and I didn't have to fill the entire thing up with stones. But I wanted to weight on the bottom so it doesn't want to tip over or anything like that. Let me show you how adorable this turned out. So you have your like little coastal Christmas tree, and then it's actually a little coastal gnome. Isn't that so fun? I love it. And I love the colors. It's like one of my favorite colors. That mint green color, it goes great for coastal decor. Looks great with the light blue that I use a lot. For the next DIY, we're going to make a little kind of surfing Santa sign. I have one of the surfboard signs left over from the summer section at the Dollar Tree. And we're going to make it into a kind of coastal Christmas craft. I found this great scrapbook paper at the Dollar Tree. It's like a teal glitter, and I thought that would be really cute to cover the surfboard with, and it's the perfect size. So I just flipped that over using the little surfboard sign as reference and sketched that out. If you're not able to find like a surfboard sign still at your Dollar Tree, or you don't have one left over, I think it would be easy enough to cut this shape out of like a piece of cardboard or something like that, because you're going to be covering it anyway. I think that looks really cute. And this DIY was really simple to do. I actually did this DIY as part of like a Christmas in July craft, which coastal crafting goes great for. But you could also use this for Christmas too. So I just do a coat of Mod Podge, laying that beautiful glitter paper. I love the different cardstocks like that you can get at Dollar Tree over the top of it. And I think the glitter is perfect for Christmas feel. And then we are going to cut out like a little saying here. I think I have the SVG file for this. I'll look for that and include it in the description of today's video. What it's going to say is "Gone to the beach, love Santa," and it has like a little Santa hat. So I just cut that out of white vinyl, and we're going to make a really easy little custom Christmas sign. I don't really like the Dollar Tree vinyl. I try to avoid it if all possible. I usually get my vinyl on Amazon. I just find that it works a lot better. I also get my paper, transfer paper, on Amazon too. I absolutely love that. And it doesn't damage like the paper or the paint that you're adding your vinyl to. And I'm just pulling off the backing sheet on this, and one piece, quick and easy, on this little surfboard sign. It's coming detached a little bit there on the edges, so just making sure that's glued down completely before I start adding the vinyl. And it's a perfect saying for a little sign from Santa. I'm just centering it on there, smoothing that out, and peeling off the transfer paper. If you're lucky enough to have a Cricut machine, don't be afraid to use it. They're really easy to use once you get some practice in. Now for the hanger, I'm going to use some red and white, like baker's twine from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and poke a new hanger hole in on both sides here with a little Cricut weeder and just tie this to the top. Super easy and coastal. I love this for a Christmas DIY. Now I did want to add like another little Santa touch to it. I picked up some of these little red and white Santa gnomes from the Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to use one of the little fairy garden decor pieces, the little life ring. It's white and red. I thought that'd be cute on there too. So I'm going to use one of the gnomes with the red hat. So it'll look like Santa Claus. And it's the perfect size for this little surfboard sign because it's nice and small. A really easy little Santa Claus, and I can attach that to the side of the surfboard right there. And this would be great for a door hanging, telling everybody where you're at for the holidays. I'm going to glue him on this side, making sure his little nose is attached. It wasn't super attached, and I want it to kind of be tucked under the hat a little bit. And then add the little life ring to the other side. Such an easy DIY and really fun. I love the red, white, and blue all together. And here it is, our little Gone to the Beach surfboard signs. I like to buy like the surfboard signs, the flip-flop signs and stuff like that. I don't put them away from summer because I know sometimes I can use those for other seasons for coastal crafts like this. And I really like the baker's twine on there. Another little pop of red and white. And I need to go to the beach. That just reminded me. For the next DIY, we're going to make a little monkey fistball. I think that's what they're called. Snowman. Now, these are actually the vase fillers that I got at Target. But you could use the ones from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree if you wanted. You're just going to have to remove the handles. These don't have any like little loop handles on them, so I thought they'd be perfect for making a little coastal snowman. I'm just going to glue 3 of them all on top of each other to build out the shape of a snowman like that. And we're going to use items from the Dollar Tree to make this really special. To start off, it's going to need a base. I'm going to use one of these little chunky wood circles from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to cover it with a removable wallpaper and a tropical pattern. Now, I know that Dollar Tree discontinued this pattern. My favorite pattern. I'm not very happy about that. But I did scan it in, and I will include a link to that free printable in the description of today's video. If you want to recreate, you can just print this out on cardstock or paper. Cardstock might work a little bit better for you. And I just hot glued that to the top of that to give me a little tropical base for the snowman. And I also want to cover the sides of it as well. So I'm just going to cut a strip to go around the sides too. I love crafting with this removable wallpaper from the Dollar Tree. They have some really pretty ones now, but I will never forgive them for getting rid of this pattern because it's so perfect. I use it year round for coastal crafting. Luckily, I stocked up on it before they discontinued it, but it's a real bummer because I really love it. I had to do another strip to make it all the way around, and then I'm just going to attach my little rope ball snowman to the base like that, and we can decorate him. I love this DIY. I made this a couple of years ago here on my channel, and I've used it every year for decorating. Now for the hat, I'm using just a like mint greenish piece of felt. I actually picked this one up at Walmart, and I am just cutting out a little circle. That is going to be the top of the hat. I cut out another strip. I probably should have cut that out a little longer. And I'm going to build a bucket hat for a little snowman. And I just do that by gluing the top of the hat here to the sides. Definitely a no-sew little hat, but as you can see, my strip really wasn't long enough. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's okay because I can cut another strip and kind of continue this on. Really easy build for a bucket hat, but it turned out really cute. So I just glue that to the other strip so I can kind of continue that and glue that all the way around, and you have the top part of your little bucket hat. Now, it doesn't have to be an actual hat that you can take on and off. So the brim of the hat I can do a little bit easier than this section. That looks pretty good. For the brim of the hat, I'm just going to do a circle that is bigger than the hat itself. And I can just put that on top of the head. I'm going to kind of sketch out how big I want it to be and then just cut out another circle, this time bigger. And I love this color. This is why I chose this piece of felt from Walmart. You can get felt at Dollar Tree too as well. I attach the brim with a little dot of hot glue like that, kind of making it kind of flop down the sides of his little snowman face. And then attach the top of our bucket hat. Super easy little no-sew hat for our little snowman. So even though we don't have any snow here in Florida, we can still have a snowman. We can still have some fun. Now for the eyes, I'm actually using some of these little dot stickers from the Dollar Tree. And I was trying to decide if I wanted to do blue eyes or if I wanted to paint them black like coal. I decided to paint mine, so I'm just going to take some black acrylic paint. Looks like I've done it before. And painted some of these little button stickers so we can make some little eyes for our snowman. I thought at first like maybe the blue ones would be pretty, but I think the black is going to make him look more like a snowman. So even though they're stickers, I'm going to use some hot glue to attach it to make sure they stay on. I'm going to do 2 little coal eyes for our snowman. And then I am going to do the mouth with black felt. I thought that'd be easier. The dots are too big. So I just cut out a little grin, a little sliver of black felt for a little smile for our little snowman guy. And I have a really fun idea for the mouth of our little snowman. I mean, for the nose. So this is the mouth. I attached that with a little bit of hot glue, so he's grinning. And it's to the right scale of his little eyes on there. Now for the body of the snowman, I wanted to do buttons like this. I wanted to see what black looked like, and I'm like, you know what? I can put some color down here, I think. So I'm going to use some of the pretty bluer ones to kind of go with the coastal vibe. A couple little buttons there on our snowman body. And then I'm going to use some of the wired jute for little snowman arms. You could also use sticks for this if you wanted, but this kind of works well for it. The only problem was cutting this. I always have all of the twine fall off of the wire a little bit, so I have to be really careful cutting it. Might work better if you maybe starch it or hot glue it before you cut it. But I do 2 little arms, one coming out each side. And just glue that into the rope ball. It really goes with the coastal feel. And I tried to do like a couple branches here for his arms that definitely didn't want to stay on the rope, but that's on the wire, but that's okay. I just attached them with a little bit of hot glue anyway, and it looks like a little twig arm. I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side of our little coastal snowman, and he's really coming along cute. I add a little starfish for coastal feel to his little bucket hat. Isn't he so cute so far? I love him. And then I'm going to add like a seashell here at the bottom. Again, anything coastal that I can add to it, I'm definitely going to do it. It looks really cute. And then I decided for the nose, I would do like a long cone-shaped shell. I had one, but it was too big. So what I did was I broke it in half and I just glued the pointy tip here. Instead of a carrot, he has a seashell nose. Then for the scarf, I needed something kind of small. So I'm using some of the red pom-pom trim from the Dollar Tree. And I am just cutting off the pom-poms. Because basically I just wanted this great thin red fabric for a cute little scarf. And he can have a pop of red in there too, since it is Christmas. I cut off all the pom-poms and then I went back and cut off all of the strings that were attaching them to give me a little scarf. And you know, I'm a crafter. I don't like to waste anything. So we will use those pom-poms in the next DIY. I wrapped that around his little snowman neck, draping it down like a scarf would be. And here he is in all his glory, our little rope ball snowman. So whimsical and fun. I've never actually tried making those monkey fist balls. I wonder how difficult they would be to make. Might have to try that in a future DIY project. I love him. He's so cute. Now, I told you I don't like to waste anything, so I'm going to use those red pom-poms and make a little coastal Christmas tree to go behind the little snowman. I just take one of these little bottle brush Christmas trees. This one's like a nice mint green color. I think I got this one at the Target dollar spot. And I'm just going to glue those little red pom-poms all over for really easy little Christmas ornaments. A crafter never wastes anything, right? That's why I have a craft room full of scrap materials. So whenever I can reuse a scrap like soon, that is definitely the goal. And I'm just kind of scattering those all over. I wanted a little Christmas tree to stand behind him to decorate him for Christmas. Just a few more, and I'm really not going to do anything else to this. I think it is fine. I love the bottle brush trees. I think they're so pretty. And here it is standing next to our little coastal snowman. And I did like a whole let it snow somewhere else theme to this cabinet. It was really cute. And I like the wood base on the Target dollar spot little bottle brush trees like that. I think that looks good. It's like a little wood slice. And this is how they look together. You've made it all the way to the final reveal. I hope you enjoyed these 20 coastal Christmas DIYs. Be sure to let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments below. You can find me at Crafty Beach on YouTube on all social media. And until next time, happy crafting. Enjoy the final reveal.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Dance, dance, now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, 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 come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding Sing joy, sing joy, sing joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Sing joy, sing, 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 sing joy, sing joy, sing joy. Joy to the world, sing joy to the world. Whoa, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new. 'Cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da.
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. I'd like to also give a big thank you to all of my Crafty Beach members for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Thank you to Karen O'Haran, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Tracy Knight, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, Live Another Day, Marin Christensen, Adrian Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Red Mama, and Donna Tanner. I really appreciate your support here on YouTube. Every little bit helps. If you would like to become a Crafty Beach Fun member, all you have to do is hit the join button next to today's video. You're going to get early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube. It's $4.99 a month, and you're free to cancel at any time. Hey, would you guys like some more coastal Christmas DIYs? Be sure to check out one of these videos right here. And I really hope that your family has a very Merry Christmas.
Making our Christmas memories.